How's it, everybody? JK from Exilic. We've been away for a while, but we are back and want to begin to chat to you through a series of thoughts related to streaming. Streaming has become hugely popular in the music industry. It is the primary way in which music is legally consumed. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So in this video, I want to do a brief historical overview of recorded music, where we've been and where we are now. And then in subsequent videos, I want to chat to you about some lessons that I'm learning um, regarding how to get ahead in this music streaming era. So recorded music, it's very interesting because, for people like me who grown up in the 1980s, 1990s, born in the 70s, recorded music was just staple. And even I think my parents' generation, my parents talk about having grown up with recorded music, whether it be from my grandfather's gramophone or to LPs, long players on vinyl. My parents were familiar with music, but if you go pretty much more than 100 years back, recorded music is not a factor. The big player in generating a revenue of music initially was the publisher. Sheet music was published so that people could not just go to a concert performance and enjoy a live performance of music, but they could then purchase a copy of the sheet music and play that same music back home. So no recording involved. And that's how music was generated. It's interesting. Publishing has never died and never changed. It still exists today, and it's still a primary source of revenue for many composers and authors. But the recorded music revolution kind of starts a little bit over 100 years ago with the invention of things like the gramophone, etc. With this came a number of new players on the music industry scene. In order to manufacture records, you need a record company. This was the rise of the record company, and so record companies then begin to just lay claim to a huge percentage of the ownership and the revenue that exists in the music industry for many, many years, for decades. I'm not even going into detail here because, from gramophone, you get the 4-track tape, and from tape you get cassette tape and an LP, and then eventually when things moved to compact disc, I think this was the heyday of money making for the record company, the 1990s into the early 2000s. Then with the advent of the internet, music initially was pirated on the internet. People like Napster began to, make a huge dent into the success of the record companies. And then you have the shift from physical to digital. So initially, big players like Steve Jobs and iTunes come on the scene, and they strike up deals with record companies and say, yo, if you want to get your music purchased legally, then come to Apple, and so iTunes becomes the only platform for many years through which you could consume digital music legally. Then there was the shift in technology, and as more and more independent artists were able to not just create their own music at minimal cost because of the computer and because of digital audio workstations, eventually they are also able to now distribute their own music using digital platforms. And with that, there's this, I think I want to call it a little window, maybe somewhere between 2010 and 2013, 2014, where independent artists could put out music and sell it on iTunes. This is pre-streaming, and just make tons of money. no middleman, no record label. They could own their own publishing and put that out. And in South Africa, that maybe lasted a little bit longer, or it started a little bit later, because we didn't have iTunes until December 2012. And so as we begin to move into consuming music digitally here in South Africa, it's not long, like 2 years in, around about, I think it was like middle of 2015, Apple Music launches, and a number of other streaming platforms, which obviously makes a dent in your potential to make revenue off of sales, because now people are streaming. Fast forward 2019, nobody's downloading music off of iTunes anymore, except diehards who really want to support an artist by purchasing the album. And so today, people who are consuming music legally are essentially buying a streaming subscription. If you don't know what that is, you simply go to a streaming provider like Apple or Spotify. Came here early 2018. You open an account with them and you pay a monthly subscription of like 60 Rand, and then you get access to the entire catalog. I'm talking about billions and billions of songs. You can listen to, stream live, and even make available offline, and just listen to as much as you want. Spotify have a free service where you're not able to build playlists, and I don't think you can save the music offline, but you can log in even just with a Facebook account, and you can consume music for free. And every stream still gets calculated to the recording artist, and it makes them eligible for royalties off that streaming, and it also gives them fraction of a cent, but it gives them an opportunity for some small source of stream of revenue. That's where legal music consumption is today, streaming. I know a lot of artists feel that this is a complete assault on the value of their creativity, because now people are basically consuming the music for free. They're not paying for it anymore, because the artist is definitely not getting paid. A lot of artists are frustrated because record labels still own a big percentage of streaming rights and intellectual property when they are distributing the music that they own, so signed artists. And so it seems like the people that are benefiting off of this are record labels, where they still exist, and the streaming sites, right? The DSPs, the digital service platforms. And so artists are frustrated. So I want to do a series of conversations, a series of thoughts, and just share lessons that I've been learning in terms of how does an artist actually capitalize off of the streaming era that we're in. And it might surprise you that it's not necessarily generating tons and tons of revenue off of this, but how do you harness this? How do you unlock the potential of the streaming era and make it work for you as a recording artist? That's what I'd like to chat about in subsequent episodes, lessons that I've been learning in streaming. So thanks for checking this out. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. My name is JK, Exilic Music. Check out our website. Go to our distribution button. We'll make the link available in the description here, where we can help you get your music onto all of the digital platforms worldwide. And we can do a single in just 2 to 3 days. We can do a full project like an EP or an album in about 4 or 5 days to a week. Chat to us to help you get your music on all platforms worldwide. www.exilic.co.za. Peace.